Today we're talking about 7 ways that we can make the world a better place. My name is Brad and welcome to the Daily Bread. Today I want to talk to you about 5 ways that I believe that we can make the world a better place just by making subtle shifts in the way in which we live. Okay? Number 1, deeply listen before you speak. A lot of times we don't listen to the other person. We're already framing what we are going to say in response to the other person. And when we do that, we don't deeply listen to what they're actually saying. And so, as a response, we also don't even listen to everything they have to say because we're already formulating that response. I believe that if we can just make a change and deeply listen to the other person all the way through without already forming what we're going to say in response, that we can make the world a better place. Number 2, empathy should always be your first language. There's a difference between empathy and sympathy, and empathy is really placing yourself in the other person's shoes. It's trying to feel their emotions and feel what they are going through. I believe if we can do that, we could better understand the other person. I know a lot of times people talk about those people over there and how bad they have it and how they need to just go back to where they're coming from. That's not being empathetic. What if we took ourselves and placed ourselves in their shoes? How would our perspective of them change? I believe it would change totally, and that we could better understand them, and as a consequence, we could approach things with empathy, and we could then possibly change our perspective on who they really are. Speaking of who other people really are, that leads me to number 3. Don't judge, observe. It is not up to us to judge other people. Sure, we can observe, but we can also observe without judging other people. And it's not up to us to judge. Scripture says that sometimes we need to take notice of the plank in our own eye before we call out the speck in our neighbor's eye. In other words, that's not really up to us. Sometimes we need to focus on what we're doing wrong rather than what they're doing wrong. And so let's take some time and let's try to just observe other people without making any judgments in the first place. Number 4, there's always more to learn. Growth is everything. And for me, I know I always want to learn more. That's why I'm always listening to podcasts. That's why I'm always reading books, right? I try to read at least an hour a day. And so, how about this? How about you go around the house and place some books that you would want to read? You can see I've got some right there in the background, right? And instead of picking up your phone and scrolling through social media, what would happen if you would just read a page or a page and a half or 2 pages out of that book? What could you learn in those moments that might make you better? What could you learn in those moments that might make you grow as a person? We should always be on the lookout to grow and to learn more. And finally, the last one. Have a deep desire to serve the world and help others grow. Service for me and helping other people grow is part of my passion. It's part of my desire. It's part of why I do what I do. That's why I make this content for social media, right? Part of the reason why I want to make content for social media is so that I can help people see the connection between their spiritual and mental wellness, and to help people grow and be better when it comes to their spiritual and mental wellness. That's why I do what I do. That's what content I put out. And so for all of us, find ways of serving. Find ways of now passing what you have learned on to other people, right? From those books that you have had around that you're picking up now instead of scrolling through social media. Have a deep desire to pass that on, pass that knowledge on to others, and to serve other people. Well, I think those are 5 things that if we would just place them into our lives, we could make the world a better place. I hope that you will take some time to go back, especially if you're driving, to go back and write those down and journal about them and ponder them, and to see how you can place them in your life and make subtle changes in your life to where you are living those 5 principles out. Well, that's all for today. Remember that the Daily Bread is now an audio podcast, and you can subscribe to it either in the Apple Podcast Store or through Spotify Podcasts. I would love it if you would go and subscribe, and every time there's a new Daily Bread, it will download to your device and you will have it ready to go. Not only that, but you can now take the Daily Bread wherever you go. You can listen in your car, you can listen on your walks, and you can take some time to grow a little bit more as well. All right, that's all for today, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.